back.
I'm back. You won.
Barely.
I was feeling the pressure. It was going to be ugly if it wasn't tonight. The depth in the pitching staff, obviously you guys talked a ton about that. Preseason, it's kind of manifested itself. You're obviously more comfortable throwing a lot of bullpen staff style games and pulling guys earlier than you might have last year. How nice has that been to just have a much more robust stable of arms you're able to kind of call upon at any time?
Well, usually that's a good thing. Today we had way too many guys come out of the pen and walk guys, and that's not, that's got to be better. They know that, we know that, but to have a repertoire of arms, down there that are capable of getting outs is nice to have. But we need them to throw more strikes than they did today. And I know today was kind of had that feel of a kind of a low intensity midweek game with the kind of weird weather and wind and a little chilly still for this time of the year, but that's an excuse that we're not going to take and not going to use. Bottom line, we got to get better than that. And the arms that came out and pitched today, we can't be walking 8 guys and expect to have that be sustainable throughout the rest of the year. But positive side, we did enough to scratch it out and get it done and get the win, which was nice. But I think we all agree we got to get better on a lot of things.
Do you feel like in terms of the bullpen, it also is just you having maybe more of a better feel of which guys fit better in which roles and kind of how to manage the group as a whole as well?
I think that's part of the learning process. With who we can use when and how many days they need in between kind of their appearances based on how much they threw that day. I think that's something that we're starting to learn and get better knowing if we get a certain guy hot, we got to use him and how long we can use him, that type of thing. That's something that Sammy and I have, we're going to continue to learn throughout the rest of the year. But I think we have a little bit better feel of it than we did early on.
Obviously, you guys have a lot of depth in the rotation this year too, but it seems like you guys have a lot of depth in the hitting wise, position player wise. How nice is it to be able to plug and play kind of any day, any situation, give it that an off day and not be worried about having to produce points? Well,
I think the fact that we have offensively, we have some guys that are able to step in, and there's days where guys just lose focus, and it's nice to be able to, I don't want to say give them a wake-up call, but to have them sit next to me for a little bit and think about it. Like, hey, you don't get the privilege of running out there every day if you're going to put that kind of effort and performance out there. We have somebody else that will. And today was Jack's got an opportunity to get in there today and took advantage of it. And Kean Boo's been playing great with his opportunities. So it's the whole creating competition thing that we wanted to do in the fall and the spring, and guys are waiting and itching for their opportunity to play, and we have some guys that are capable of playing that aren't. So that's a good problem to have. But when the opportunity presents itself, they're ready for it, and they've been taking advantage of it. So that's been nice.
Yeah, your 20th win this year, 3 weeks before the date of your 20th win last year. I know you guys are going to say you're not satisfied with anything yet, but have you been able to kind of put that in perspective and be a little bit satisfied, I suppose, with the way things have played out this year?
Not really. Like I said, it's nice, I guess, from if you're comparing the two. But for me, I just focus on all the things we got to get better at still in order to be the caliber team that I want us to be, and that hopefully they want to be. Like I said, today was. Maybe we lose this game last year, I don't know, with the way we played today, but we were able to scratch it out and score enough runs to win. But like I said, as a staff, we're focused more on, we were talking throughout the game on just all the stuff that we got to continue to get better at, because we're in the teeth of our season here at the halfway point, and we still are not where we need to be. It's one of those things to where you just kind of keep preaching and hitting upon the same things, and occasionally one day it'll get better, and then the next day it's back to where it started. So obviously we have to continue to grind on them and continue to find new ways to get the most out of these guys.
You had mentioned that I think it was a couple weeks ago that Nick McLean was targeted for a return against Cal. He still hasn't appeared in a game. Has there been any hiccups in his recovery process?
Yeah, there has been. We're waiting on, there was another test done. We were expecting it just to be a hamate bone that initially would have probably put him back playing by now. He had some discomfort when he was hitting before going to UNLV last week in a different area. So we got another test done. We're waiting on those results. So I'm not optimistic.
10 strikeouts tonight, and also the 10 runners left on base. And what did you say? How would you summarize that struggle? Was the guy's feet trying to get too big, or what was the struggle in that tonight?
Lack of focus. I think to sum it up simply, I think that's something that we preach upon, we hit upon, we talk about. Pressure's on them, in those bases loaded situations, and to go up there and swing out of the zone, it's a lack of focus, in my opinion. Again, I've hit on it before. It's if you're facing 95, 97 mile an hour arms with nasty off speed stuff, okay, I've been there, but these are guys that they shouldn't be striking out 10 times. That's just, if you want to be the team you want to be, you can't be doing that.
You think those walks early on in the game kind of contributed to them getting away from their approach?
No, if they ain't gonna throw it over the plate, don't swing. But you gotta be aggressive to your pitches, to our pitches, and you gotta maintain discipline on that type of stuff. Again, I get it, the elements of today, the Tuesday night feel wasn't exactly intense, but I don't care. You're playing a college baseball game, you gotta go out and lock in and get it done. And when you got a chance to throw the knockout punch in the first inning and do what we had hoped that we could do and break that game wide open early on and get some guys in there that we really wanted to get in there, you got to take advantage of those. But we didn't, and we proceeded to walk the leadoff guy the next inning, and he scores, and it was just kind of a back and forth type game until Jax hit the homer there in the 8th. It kind of gave us a little bit of a breathing room, but I never felt comfortable the whole game, which was disappointing with that many base runners that we got on base.
Seems like 3 guys who have been locked in are Luke, New, and Ryan, who are just in here. What have you seen from them, especially since Pac-12 play started, that has them so locked in?
Those are the guys that are, I think if you look at the pitch selection and the swing percentage of pitches in the zone, that usually tells you your answer. Swinging in good pitches, and you got a clear head. And those 3 guys are confident, and they're swinging it. For the most part, they're swinging at good pitches. So, the guys that are scuffling, it's not so much. They're chasing stuff that is bouncing on the plate and over their head, and it's no secret. If you're struggling, I don't care who you aren't hitting those pitches. You gotta make sure it's over the white plate and in your zone. But some of that, like I said, is just a lack of focus and maybe a little mental fatigue, which after 30 games, I don't really buy that excuse, but sometimes you need a little wake up call and get another guy in there that he's ready to play, and hopefully we get back in the saddle.
And Isaiah Jackson coming off the bench, being able to produce tonight, how is it him being able to come off the bench and play in that role in a different spot?
Well, he was one of the guys that had to sit by me for a couple days and get better at a few things and understand, like, hey man, we can't keep doing what we're doing, and we have to make a few adjustments, and we're not going to keep letting you swing at balls in the dirt and taking fastballs for strikes. That's just not how. It's the opposite of what our approach needs to be. And so think about it for a couple of days, and found an opportunity to get him back in there today and see how he responded, and he responded extremely well. So hopefully he continues that.
Ryan Campos has been as consistent as any hitter in the Pac-12, maybe the nation, this season, and just in general. How important has he been to, just the production of this offense, especially as of late, getting on base as much as he does?
Campy is a guy that you can kind of take for granted, I think. Just because he shows up every day and he's a pro, and you kind of come to it just to expect it, and it's really, I don't want to say it's not fair, but that's just that's the standard that he set for himself and for our team, is that Campy's going to be there and he's going to do something special pretty much every day. And sometimes it just goes by the wayside. Oh, it's just Campy being Campy. But it's like, no, that's pretty damn good. You know, when you go day in and day out and put together tremendous at bats and lay off tough pitches that are borderline, and you know your strike zone and doesn't chase pitches out of the zone very often. It's pretty impressive to watch him do what he does every day. And I hope, my hope is that you know, especially the younger guys, just watch him go about his work every day, and how he goes about, and his disciplined approach that he has every day. He's in here in the mornings, every morning, stretching and getting ready for the game and doing his pregame stuff, and works on his swing religiously, and it's no secret why he has success. It's because he puts the hours and time into it. But he's just, you know, he really is the cornerstone of that entire offense.
He said he doesn't think that the getting out of the squat as much as he has been able to is necessarily helping his offensive numbers, but do you think that's the case, and are you kind of trying to get him out of the squat as much as you can?
No, I don't. You could put Campy at center field if you wanted. I don't think it's going to affect him. He's I don't know what the numbers are when he's playing left field versus catching, but either way, it's pretty dang good. I don't think that bothers him. He doesn't care where he plays. He wants to contribute and be out there. You know, the reason I kind of had him out in left field the past couple days is Trey Newman's been playing pretty well behind the plate, minus today offensively. He's been contributing pretty well, and you know, we've had a couple guys in the outfield that have been scuffling a little bit. So it's like I'd like to get both Trey's bat and Campy's bat in the lineup at the same time, and Campy is flexible enough to be able to do that. So, but you know, you'll find him probably behind the plate this weekend more often than not.
Kind of a longevity play too. You want him to be fresh towards the end of May as well.
Yeah, I do. And if there's times that we can get him out in the outfield and keep his bat in the lineup, or even, you know, if we can get a few of these guys healthy and, you know, potentially DH him, you know, to really kind of get him off his feet and keep him fresh, that'd be the ideal. But you know, he's not a bad little outfielder either. So it's like I don't mind him out there. He plays a pretty good defense for you know, for, if you want to call him a catcher. You know, he goes out there and plays pretty good left field too. So his body seems to be in great shape. He's in pretty good constant communication with him about that, on how he's feeling, and he's not going to tell me anything else. And I feel great. So his numbers prove it, and his performance proves it, that he's feeling pretty good.
Obviously, pretty big weekend coming up against Washington State, coming off a big win over UCLA this past weekend, and just evaluating your group from tonight. What are things you want to see change and hope that they improve upon in this weekend?
Throwing strikes, cutting down strikeouts offensively. Throwing more strikes on the pitching side, no free bases, or a lot fewer free bases. And offensively, we got to cut down on strikeouts. And I think I haven't taken a big dive into Washington State yet. I wanted to get through this game, but the little bit that I've looked at is their bullpen's pretty good. They got very capable starters, and you know, they're going to be a handful. So we're going to have to come out and attack the strike zone from a pitching side, and offensively, we're going to have to control the plate. You know, from an offensive standpoint. So I think you know, it should be a fun series. I know they're playing well, and we'll have to up our game a little bit.
Coach, I was talking to John and Ruben today on the grounds crew, and they were talking about Dino. You know, what's his presence like around the team? I saw him high-fiving everybody after the game, and what's he like in the locker room, kind of just around the team in general?
Dino's been here for a long time. He was here when I was here, and he's legendary, and so he's part of the group, man. He's part of the team, and he has no bad days. Every day is a good day for Dino, and he loves being around the boys, and he's the biggest fan. So you hear him in the front row, you know, whoever's pitching, you know, come on, big Nolan, come on, big Josh, come on, you know, he's over there cheering on the boys, and then after the game, he's all pumped to come in the dugout and high five everybody. So Dino's part of what we're doing. He'll always be here and part of what we're doing.
Awesome.
Thanks,